A massive new report from the New York Times came out over the weekend exposing yet another highly secretive, yet already completed deal that Donald Trump personally made with the government of Kazakhstan that is going to potentially put millions, if not billions of dollars into the pockets of his own kids. On November 6th of last year, Donald Trump himself personally, according to the report, worked out a deal with the Kazakhstani government to open up their tungsten mines for one U.S. company, a company called Kaz Resources, which is started by a rabbi who moved from Australia to the United States. Kazakhstan has one of the largest, or the largest tungsten reserves. It's one of the largest mineral reserves on planet Earth. And now this one company by an Australian transplant to the United States gets to mine their tungsten, and of course, it's valued at billions upon billions of dollars. And according to the New York Times report, Donald Trump personally did the final negotiation with the president of Kazakhstan for this deal. So Trump himself made this happen. So the question is, how did Donald Trump's sons benefit, right? They're not involved in Kaz Resources. They're not investors in it. So where do they get the money? Well, because Donald Trump's sons, Donald Trump Jr. and Eric Trump, had rushed to take a 20% stake in the Kazakhstan mining project weeks after negotiations started. So they've invested in the mining project itself after they knew that their father was working on this deal. 20% is how much they will now own of the billions and billions that Kaz Resources, of course, will have to pay to go mine the tungsten. Let's play a new game, right? We always do if Biden had done this, but let's change that game up a little bit. Let's play if Hunter Biden had done this. They'd have been calling for his public execution. They would have already drafted articles of impeachment against President Joe Biden. I mean, hell, they wanted to impeach Biden because his son worked for a foreign company while Biden was no longer in office. Here, this is one of 14 different government deals that Donald Trump's sons have personally benefited from financially in the last year and a half. 1 out of 14. The New York Times was able to identify. So we are talking, right? We're 18 months into this administration, and Trump's sons have personally financially benefited from 14 different deals that the federal government has made in 18 months. So we are talking about every 40 days, right? Every 40 days, his fucking kids are making money off his government in new and obscene ways. Every 40 to 45 fucking days. That's how corrupt these sons of bitches are. This story from the New York Times came out, I believe, either Friday evening or Saturday morning. It's already disappeared. Disappeared. It's gone. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a shit. They're going to make billions off this one deal alone, not to mention how much money they've made off the other 13 deals they've been involved in. And nobody seems to care. The media would rather talk about anything else on the fucking planet than the corruption of these two little bastards and their bastard-ass father. We're not going to let this go. We're not going to sit here and pretend that any of this is normal. This is corruption at its highest. The presidential pardon ability needs to be stripped, and every one of these a-holes needs to be prosecuted the second Donald Trump is no longer president of the United States. And they should all spend the rest of their lives in prison and lose every dime they've ever made. Oh, and by the way, didn't even get to talk about the fact, and I could, but Howard Lutnick's son is also an investor in Kaz Resources, so he's also going to make millions. So yeah, it's not just the Trump kids. Howard Lutnick's little a-hole kid is also going to make millions from it. So yeah, there's that too. I want to take a moment to tell you about a wonderful new book that is out, Be Like Trump by John Evans. And yes, I wrote the afterword for this book. Now, Be Like Trump is a wonderful little story that essentially puts things into a better perspective for Americans. Whether you love Trump, whether you hate Trump, it doesn't matter. This book takes real things Donald Trump has done and shows people what it would be like if Trump had done those horrible things to them personally. Would that change your opinion of him? And that is what a lot of MAGA does need to realize. This book is not an attack on Trump. It is putting his actions into a better perspective for the public. And it also does so in a humorous way, which I absolutely love. The book is available on Amazon. Of course, we will have a link in the description of our videos, so follow that, check it out. It's available both in paperback and Kindle edition. This is a must-read for anyone who, one, may have forgotten some of the horrible things that Donald Trump has done over the years, and two, for anyone who thinks to themselves, yeah, he's done horrible things, but he's this far-off figure, and those things really don't affect me. Read the book, and then tell me after that if you don't think these things affect you.